Her license to carry. She was super eager to get it. And just like a lot of people that carry guns, like she doesn't have a gun yet. But the one thing that I know is true for people that carry guns
is what?
They can't wait to fucking use it.
I would hope that anybody who gets a gun is hoping that they don't have to use it.
That you would think. But I guarantee you, everybody that got a fucking gun on their hip is like, I want somebody to try me.
I know niggas in the hood, when they first get their shit, they be running around the whole fucking city with it attached
trying to start a fucking trouble.
Yeah.
Bro, I saw a video.
Cheers.
Oh my God.
I love it.
But no, I saw a video where some dude in some suburban area, it was like balloons popping, like at a party. My man came out with the fucking ratchet, right? And was mad disappointed that it was just balloons.
Oh my God.
Bro, I'm telling you, anybody that got a gun cannot wait to use it. I'm sure they leave, like they go to bed, leaving their door like ajar.
I wish a nigga would come through this fucking door.
I'm guaranteeing you.
Stupid.
I know I'd do it.
You're fucking crazy. Bro.
With ice, please.
Wow, you won't be.
I said please. If
you saw me with the fucking ice earlier and you didn't say shit. But yeah, I don't think people who think like that realize that you can shoot somebody, but you could also get shot, and you may not come back from that shit.
I think they're willing to play the game, and they're willing to, see how it gambles. Somebody's gonna come out alive, and the other one's not, and they like their odds.
Yeah, I guess so.
They fucking love their odds.
Stupid. Turn my headphones down a little bit.
Am I too loud for you, Daddy? Anyway, welcome back to the Mancave podcast.
Nah, you gotta give us some more energy. I ain't like that one. There you go. Drink your George juice.
I actually don't think it's gonna change anything. Welcome back to the Mancave podcast.
Yeah.
See, the thing is now it's gonna clip. See, I'm the editor here, so I think about everything when it comes to the presentation, the audio. And you want me to scream into the mic, and then later on I'm gonna have to edit the mic and be like, why did I let Larry make me scream into this fucking mic?
When you know how it turns out.
Yeah. But today's episode is going to be a special one, I think. I think it will be. I think it's going to give people the opportunity to get to know us a little more.
Okay.
This is what, our 21st episode.
I got to fucking count for you. You're the fucking editor. Jesus Christ. What the fuck are you good for?
I have a family. But 21 episodes, and outside of the first couple, I feel like we haven't had the opportunity to really dive into us.
Yeah, pause.
And I really want to dive into you, Larry. Like, I want to get real deep inside of you and just really understand you and just know and feel Larry, So,
wow.
I think this episode will be a good opportunity for me to really get up in there.
Yeah.
And for you to get all up in here.
Well, I'm wide open, so.
There you go. Match it, Larry. Match the energy.
Whatever you're trying to do.
All right.
You really.
This one's gonna get me in trouble, though. I think with my family. So here's the first thing that I'm gonna say is.
Let's give the people some context first on what we're doing today, because you just about to go balls to the wall.
No, what I was just gonna do is a quick disclaimer.
Okay.
I don't know if any of my family members actually listen or watch the podcast.
I'm pretty sure your dad does.
They've never said anything.
Pretty sure your dad does. Most dads are just sitting around. They don't tell you. They be like, yeah, piece of shit. Hope your podcast fails.
I might say some things in this episode that you guys didn't even know happened or I experienced. And, Tamara is my sister. She has kids. If they watch this podcast or listen to it, I know my nephew's like a fan. This is probably not the episode for him. I'm just going to throw that out there. He should not be listening to this one. And if he listens to some of the other ones, I don't know, Tamara, you got to do a little better. But outside of that, that's my disclaimer. Okay. All right. My mom, if she listens to it, I'm sorry. I did what I did.
Listen, I don't have no disclaimer. I don't think any of my family watches the podcast. I know my mom likes the clicks. Likes the clicks. Jesus Christ. She likes the clips. Mm-hmm. On IG. That's just her way of trying to support her son. And I love her for that. But I don't think she's sitting around listening to a full fucking episode.
Yeah, that's a lot to ask, even for family members.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
God forbid you just chop it up into 4 days and listen 10 minutes at a time.
You know, that's what I noticed about the way that I listen to podcasts that I like. You don't fucking listen to it all in one go.
Very rarely.
What the fuck am I doing? Sitting in my chair at the house, staring at the wall, just listening to people talk? No, I will listen to it on the drive to work, finish it maybe on the drive home, or if I'm at, walking the dog, throw it on. So one episode that's an hour and a half might take me a whole day or a couple days to listen through it.
My thing is listening to shit on the way to work or or if I'm like taking a train or something. And I just throw my noise canceling AirPods in, shout out to Apple. That's my
you try to get a sponsor.
That's my pitch. My noise canceling AirPod Pros.
Do you have the Pros?
Very
Are they
comfortable.
the ones that go over the head?
Nah, there you go.
You're not gonna get the big one though?
I thought about it. I think I will actually, because Apple, fuck y'all for this one, because
you trying to get the sponsor or not, my guy?
Listen, I'm a what's the dude named Keith? The TikTok review, that's me. I'm that shit with Apple products, bro. Okay. Listen, the fucking AirPod Pros, they do not stay in my ears while I'm working out. So I probably need something like that.
It's weird. My left ear stays in. My right one doesn't. Yes. I think I'm left-eared. You know how people are like left-handed or right-handed? I'm left-eared for sure. And I had to buy like this piece on Amazon to like stick the one on the right end so that it fucking stays in there. Like you said, when you go to the gym or you hit the treadmill, that shit, you got to keep fucking pushing it in.
Is it like a cushion for the...
It's a like attachment that you put in, and it kind of hooks into the ear so that it stays in there.
Okay.
So it's only my right ear.
That's some Iron Man shit. I'm not buying that.
The thing was like $5. Anyway, you want to go into what we're going to be doing this episode?
Let's do it. So George had this crazy ass idea that we would share a list of our firsts, not like our first together for all you freak ass people out there.
We still have a lot of firsts to experience together. We'll get there.
Christ.
Keep drinking like this.
Yeah, it's going to be a long fucking episode, bro. But yeah, no, I thought it would be a good idea for us to share a list of our firsts and give the people a little bit about us and like a more in-depth kind of look at who we are. Yep. And that's a more simple, straightforward way of saying it versus getting up inside George, which is what he led with for the first 15 minutes of this episode.
That's all I needed was that.
Yeah.
That you were interested in doing that. And then I'll cut my part out. And all people would hear is that you want to get inside.
Yo, you're fucking crazy.
I have too much power as the editor.
Seriously.
But no, I just want to jump into, stuff that we experience. You're 32, I'm 29, a lot younger than you are.
A lot? Go to hell.
But, we've experienced a lot of firsts. I think everybody does. So it might be interesting to kind of go all the way back to our childhoods or teenage years and talk about our firsts.
Yeah.
So we're going to start off cooking straight out the kitchen with this one. All right. What was your first time that you stumbled upon porn?
My first time, I was actually staying with my uncle in New Jersey.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Old dudes, they freaky as shit. So he had the platinum cable subscription. Do you remember the boxes, the red numbers?
Yeah.
Were you alive during that? Yeah. All right, cool. We had the old cable boxes with the red numbers, and they went up to maybe 100 or something. I don't remember. Yeah. So I'm like, this is boring as fuck. I'm in here by myself. He's in his room doing God knows what. So probably doing the same thing I was getting ready to do. So I'm like flipping through fucking channels.
So when you were flipping through the channel, did you know about that you could find porn?
I literally could not even grasp.
It wasn't even a thought.
It wasn't even a thought.
Yeah, same.
I had to be 10.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, so I'm just flipping through channels looking for something to watch. And I just stumbled upon this tanned white lady, oiled up. And I'm like, hold on. Click back. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I'm just watching. And for anybody who stumbled upon porn, you know how it is. It's like you're getting a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, you already know from rip that you should not be watching this. Immediately, it's like as a child, you're so intrigued, but at the same time, you already feel guilty. You're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
And you're like, yo, this should not be accessible for me. Why? But you can't look away either.
I could not look away. I might have sat there and watched that shit for 5 hours. Because it was cable, so it's it's just running shows. After fucking Star Wars goes off, the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Dicks right after it. Like it's just a full schedule of porn. I was just locked in, bro.
I remember mine was the same thing on the fucking cable box. Red letters of the fucking digits on the top of it.
Yeah.
I remember it was like a Saturday, and I went downstairs. Everybody was asleep.
You really a freak. You remember the day and everything.
But because I had my mom, my dad. Mm-hmm. It was my brother, my two sisters, right? So yeah, you're never by yourself. The house is full, right? So I remember I woke up early on a Saturday because I didn't have to go to school, nothing. I was like, went downstairs and I was like, I'm gonna go watch Cartoon Network. So I went downstairs.
Saturday morning special.
Yeah. And I couldn't find the controller, so I just went up to the box and I started hitting channel up, right? And I'm just looking at it. And I know I passed by it, but I saw a titty. And I was like, wait. So I go back a couple and I'm like, yo. What? And I look up the stairs immediately, like there's nobody coming down. And then, I just started watching it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is crazy. It was two girls. It was some but it wasn't like, obviously on cable, it was always like softcore, softcore porn. Like it's not like insane shit.
Nah.
But it was like a girl eating out another girl. And
eating the covers.
Yeah, exactly. All you see really is her head and then the other chick's tits. But you're just mesmerized. Yep. And I remember watching it for like 30, 45 minutes. And then I hear people upstairs moving. So I quickly go to change it to Cartoon Network.
Okay.
And then I turned off the TV and then I just went like to the kitchen, grabbed some cereal, right? And I'm eating the cereal like, what the fuck? Like that shit was crazy. Like contemplating the whole situation about when can I watch it again.
That's what I'm thinking. Like he's setting up a schedule to go back and watch it.
Now that I know it's there, when can I go back? Right. And I remember everybody coming down. My mom turns on the TV. And she found the controller. It was on Cartoon Network. And you know how you hit last?
Oh, you didn't fucking do the double channel thing? I didn't think about that shit.
No, bro. It's my first time doing this little dancey dance, all right?
Man.
So she hits last, and there it is, right on the screen. And then, TV turns off, screaming starts happening. Everybody get the fuck on the couch.
Yeah.
She's yelling like, who the fuck was watching TV this morning, right? I don't know. Nobody. You know what I mean? There was no answer. So, but the thing is like, she can't say what she saw, right?
Of course not, because then she got to tell y'all on TV,
And so I had to sit there like, why is she so upset that somebody was watching TV? And I can see everybody else as confused, so I'm trying to match their confusion. Like my brothers and sisters are saying
and that's when you learn you're a psychopath.
And I was like, I really know how to lie.
Yeah, exactly.
Bro, it was unreal. I told you the story about how I fucking saw that shit in school one time. How the school just started getting laptops. Yeah. And then we went to the library. There was like, I opened the laptop. It was already open to two girls scissoring.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? We can get this in school? So I started like clicking shit. And then class is over. I just closed it. I didn't close the link. Just like whoever did me that favor, I'm gonna do the favor for the next guy.
Yeah,
if I can close it.
Wow.
Kept it moving.
You were wild. You really did the whole school a service by just keeping it there and pressing it on. Because a lot of people didn't know how to access that type of shit.
No.
And me personally, when I first discovered computer porn, bro, I was fucking terrified to click that I'm 18 shit. Yeah. I was like, I can't. The fucking government gonna come in here. Like, it's fucking over for me.
When did your family get like the computer in the living room, just like everybody fucking else at that time? Did. Once every family started getting that computer, it was right in the living room,
right next to the stairs,
against the wall, facing every fucking body, right? Yep. And I remember when I had seen that at school, I was like, I could probably find this at home if it's the same thing. And I remember everybody went upstairs after dinner and shit, and I told them I had to stay downstairs for a project. And I started looking some shit up.
Dick.
Yeah. I started looking some shit up. Right. And I was just like, seeing if I could find it. And then I did. And I was like, fuck. Like, you could get this at home now. Bro, and let me tell you, right, that I heard everybody's awake. So what the fuck am I thinking? Right. Looking up porn in the living room when anybody can come down at any time.
You was living dangerously, bro.
And then, then I got like too scared. So I clicked the X to exit out. The computer froze.
Always.
Computer froze.
Always.
It was that little buffer in the center with a titty on the screen.
Yep.
And I'm like clicking it, non-responsive. And I'm like, I just fucking shut off the whole computer. Bro, shut off the computer. And then it still took like a second, right? And then I let it rock out, like just let it reboot. Gave it like 60 seconds. My fear was I was going to turn it on and the titty was still there.
Yeah.
So I turn it on and then it does like turn on normally. So then I go clear it off. It works.
The browser history.
The browsing, clear the browser history. And then I was like, fuck, I can't do this no. This is too fucking risky. Can't do this shit no more. All right. And I remember the next day, my somebody got on the computer looking for something. It was like, why is the history clear? I was like, oh, fuck.
Yo, y'all was really using computers because who the fuck was even thinking about that?
Bro, you know what they was doing? They was just on Craigslist for no fucking reason.
Just looking at shit?
Just looking at shit.
That's weird.
My sister would have no intentions of buying nothing. Oh, look at this on Craigslist. It was just like the black market.
Yeah. It was like it was the first time you could window shop without a window.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they would just go on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Or they would just go on YouTube to listen to music or watch videos. But they would go to their history to go back to a video that they saw or listen to the song again. Right? They wouldn't search it again.
Okay.
They would just go to the history and click it again.
Y'all was advanced.
And then let me tell you, I was like, I went again, right? Obviously.
You're addicted.
I'm addicted now. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I see titties at home. And then I did it, cleared the history again, right? But then before I cleared the history, I had looked at the history that they had looked up. And I was like, all right, Craigslist, YouTube, right? Some stuff that is there. So that when I
made a note.
Wow. So when I cleared the history, I just researched the things again.
Wow.
So that one day somebody comes to the computer and goes to the history, it's similar to the way they
like
left
an
it.
Evil genius. At what? How old were you? 9?
Nah, I was at that time maybe like 11 or 12.
That's still just as bad.
It's hard, really bad,
and bro. So imagine how kids are today with all of that power on their
It's so
fucking
easy
phone.
now, bro.
Oh my god,
it's bad.
Oh my god,
I can't. And the shit that we saw, like I said, was low tier. Like we were seeing softcore.
They're getting full.
Shit. They're seeing
full blown,
crazy shit.
Anal.
Like somebody getting, eating cereal out of somebody's ass. Like that's the shit they looking at.
Yep.
I wasn't looking at that shit. I was just trying to see some titties.
And we were, like you said, we were getting like the entertainment version of porn. They're getting like real live dick and ass, like
actual sex.
Yeah.
Like hardcore sex.
Man.
We was just looking at titties.
And I can imagine what they're feeling because even back then, bro, like I had to take 4 showers that night when I fucking first saw that
Larry's
shit.
in the shower again,
bro.
and every shower's an
My
hour
uncle-
long.
My uncle water bill had to be fucking high as shit, bro. High as shit.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I was like, man, I feel crazy. What is this feeling? I was like, I only feel like this when I'm watching this shit.
That shit's funny. It's always the shower, bro. I mean, where else are you gonna get the fucking privacy? It's just nowhere.
Nowhere. But even like in my house, I couldn't get that kind of privacy because my fucking family would be like, Larry, open the goddamn door. You're in the shower for an hour, and go in and go to the bathroom and leave out because we only had one bathroom at the house.
Yeah, that's how it was here.
Fucking annoying as shit. I know my mom hated it because she always wanted to do her makeup for 45 minutes.
Larry's in the shower for the third time today.
So she rushed me out the bathroom, but so she can get in there and take an hour. Like, yo, are you fucking kidding me?
But she's actually taking a shower.
Nah, she's doing her makeup or some wild shit. Whatever moms do in the bathroom, hiding from their other kids.
Yeah, just ignoring the world.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that was my experience, bro. That shit was wild. And that's why I say, like, if my mom watches this, she's probably never seen any other episode. She goes, oh, George dropped a new episode. Let me watch it. And here I am admitting to all this shit.
I threw my boy under the bus bad one time. Like, I fucking, I had this picture of this girl. She wasn't like naked or whatever, but she was like wearing some provocative, like, sexy shit. So I was like, doing the man's job, but I had it like tucked in the towels in the bathroom. Dumbass didn't take the fucking picture back out of the bathroom this one time. So after we went through 3 or 4 towels, somebody finally found a picture. My mom called me. She was like, what's this fucking picture in the bathroom under the towel? I'm like, picture? What is it? I don't know.
Playing dumb. Playing dumb.
And mind you, I'm in front of like all these people. So she's like expecting me to tell her the truth. That's not going to be today. It's not going to be in front of these fucking other kids.
Yep.
So I'm like, no, you know what? Man, my friend James, like he was in the bathroom. He probably had.
No.
Yeah, bro. But nobody fucked with James anyway. So it is what it is. Yeah, bro. Like take one more for the team.
Damn.
And I'm glad I did that shit in hindsight because James got me in a lot of fucking trouble, bro. In hindsight.
After the fact or before?
After the fact, yeah. I was trying to take a bullet for that nigga, literally, and he made my life a living hell. So we even.
There you go.
Motherfucker.
Bro, I remember, so in my mom's crib, it was the stairs. And if you go up the stairs and you do like a quick 180, was my parents' room, right?
Down the hall.
Yeah.
Of course.
So I remember it was a random day. I go up the stairs. My dad's in the bedroom. Everybody's downstairs. I run up the steps. I got to use the bathroom. And I always did that 180. For whatever reason, I would just like double back.
It's because you want to know where they at all times.
I guess.
So you can do your bullshit. Yeah.
So I go to the bathroom. Boom, right? When I did that, boom, my man was watching the porn. The same porn that I had stuff. Yeah, right. I looked up titties. I was like, whoa.
I know this episode.
I seen this one. Right? So I remember standing on the top of the stairs like, so he watches this too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You felt like a man?
Yeah. I was like, there you go. Good for him.
Good for him.
Right? And then I remember I was like, all right, this is getting weird.
Yeah.
So it was only like 30 seconds, but I was like, I can't be watching the porn that my dad is watching at the same time. It's weird. So I was like, I'm going to go to the fucking bathroom. I make the decision to go and the floor creaks, right? And he flips straight to the Weather Channel.
It's your mom.
Straight to the Weather Channel.
Right.
Right. And you know what's funny is like so many times, like it clicked there. We would walk in on our dad watching the Weather Channel.
Like, why the fuck are you
And we
watching
were always
that?
like, this motherfucker always watching the Weather Channel. Like, it don't change that often.
It just was the next
And
channel.
then I was like, yo, that's his go-to. Yo, like every time he's watching the Weather Channel, he was watching some shit before.
You ain't just tell him like, Dad, listen, next time just hit last and then like go watch something else. Like make it look believable.
That shit was ridiculous.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. I wanted to go into another one. Obviously, you had your first fight. What was that like? How old were you?
I was young as shit.
Yeah.
I was young. I might have been in like fucking kindergarten. Yeah, I was young. But it was like something stupid. Like somebody was like bullying one of my homies who was really like my brother. And I just pushed him into the fucking bookcase in the class. But like my first like
Fight.
my first fight where I like was thinking life or death, like what was I like? I might have been like 14, 15. It was actually my little brother's dad. And that was just like a whole fucking situation. So this motherfucker was crazy. He was always causing problems in the house. And then the one night, I hear him arguing, but I'm like half asleep.
Yeah.
So I hear arguing. I don't know what's happening. So I got up out the bed. I threw on my boots. I had like my fucking Timberlands right next to the bed for whatever reason. I guess I was wearing them to school the next day or something. I go out into the hallway and see what's happening. And he's like fighting with my grandmother's boyfriend, Mr. Todd. So I always like had this fucking hatred for him anyway. He just was not a good person. Like I jumped into it. I saw him and Mr. Todd fighting. I jumped into it, started fighting him and put him in the fucking craziest chokehold of all time.
At 14?
At 14, bro. I had the strength of 6 gods that night, bro. I wanted to kill that man. Damn. Like I just fucking put him in this chokehold and fell backwards. And I just was not trying to let go.
And how old was he?
He had to be like late 30s, early 40s. Okay. Yeah, so he was way older than me. He probably could have fucked me up if it was just me and him fighting. But he had Mr. Todd to deal with too. So I was like, this is perfect. I can kill him. And then like, I'm not gonna worry about like Mr. Todd can take the fall for it. Like this is perfect. It works out good. But yeah, it was like my first time where I was like, no, I gotta do something to this man because like anytime before that, you know, like as a kid, you're just fighting. You're just angry or it's misunderstanding. So you're just exchanging blows for whatever reason. But that was like an emotional thing. Like that shit actually meant something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That type of fighting is different.
Oh, for sure. If that was like you said originally, like a life and death for you. That was exactly. Survival instinct kicking in.
Right.
Mine is not that. I didn't fight no grown ass man for no reason. Not for no reason, but like.
No, I know what you mean.
Mine was I was like 5th grade, and when I was in middle school, I was a short kid, chubby ass guy, right? And very timid. Like, so I was
timid.
Yeah, so I was like in my own shell. I really wasn't rocking with nobody. Do my own thing, right? And I remember this kid who was like fucking foot taller than me, clearly like 50 pounds heavier than me, was always fucking bullying me. And I remember one day I was like, I'm fucking over this shit, man. Fuck this kid. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to fuck him up.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember like telling some of the dudes that I would chill with, I'm like, nah, I'm going to fuck him up today. Today's the day I'm fucking him up. I'm over it. And then you know how fucking 5th grade is, the fucking spread like wildfire across our class.
Oh, George about to fight.
George about to fuck him up, right? George want to fuck him, blah, blah, blah. And I remember there was this, it was like this club or some shit of fucking dweebs, like nerdy kids. I can't even, like, that were in a group of like, their group's cause, I guess, was to stop fights, right? And I remember they came over to me like, hey, George, I heard you were feeling, what was it, like anxious that you wanted to fight so-and-so. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Back away from me.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, we have like a checklist we have to go over, make sure you calm down. Like, why are you feeling so upset? This, and that. Bro, like I'm telling you, they were fucking weird. Right. So their job is kids. Like that teachers, I guess, made them think, oh, you're amongst your peers and your responsibilities are to stop the fights.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
So they're snitches, apparently.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
So that's what they were doing. They came up to me trying to fucking
calm
me down. Yeah. If anything, it just fucking made me madder.
Yeah.
Right. And then I remember it was like 2 something, almost 3. And in my head, I'm like, I can't not fight him now. Right. The whole fucking class knows if the day ends and I don't fight this kid, I'm a bitch.
Yep.
And I know he knows already because it got to him.
Yeah.
Right. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to do it now. Middle of the class. Teacher's teaching, writing on the board. I said, fuck it. I got up. And then people was like, oh shit, he's going to do it. Right. And I go over there, start talking. I was like, bro, you need to, like, I'm sick of you. Like this, right. And he stands up and like I said, towering over me, bro. Like big as shit. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like the whole thing, right? And then like he pushed me, I pushed him, and then we just started fucking throwing hands and then throwing each other on desks and shit. It was like a crazy shit. The fucking security guard came in, another security guard, and it was like a whole thing. So that was my first fight, like fight. And I remember, and I lost. I'm telling you this right now, 100%. I remember kids.
Shout out to you. You're a foot taller and 50 pounds. He's a grown ass man, bro.
And I remember kids at school was like, you got a couple hits, but he fucked you up. I was like, yeah.
Kids gonna always keep it real with you, bro.
I was like, I knew. But he never fucked with me after that ever again.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, the job is done.
That's all it takes. One time he was like, I'm not gonna be able to bully him without fighting, so I'm gonna find somebody else.
Living in Philly, you must have seen somebody get jumped to transition from the first fight. Have you ever seen somebody get jumped?
Why you think? Because I live in Philly, I seen somebody
There's
get jumped.
no shot that you live in Philly your whole life and you ain't seen nobody get jumped.
Bro, that jumping shit is for New York.
You never seen somebody get jumped?
Yeah, I did.
All right, then what the fuck are you talking about?
Because that jumping shit is for New York, bro. That's what they do up there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Philly, we believe in the one-on-one, bro.
Either we box it or we shoot it.
I seen somebody get jumped.
What was that like? What was the first time? How old were you? Because I remember I was in middle school still the first time I seen somebody get jumped. And he was in our grade.
I mean, I've seen people get jumped, but I saw somebody get jumped. Like
this dude was in my grade as well. Like ambulance came and had to take him out.
Yeah, nah. This shit was so bad. I was in high school, actually. I might have been my 9th grade year, which is crazy. It was like the start of the fucking high school year. Yep. So everybody's still trying to like carve out their space. It's almost like jail. You know, you got to go in, establish your identity. Oh, I'm the nigga that get money. Oh, I'm the one that sell drugs. I'm the one who fight.
And like, you got a week to do it.
A fucking week, if that. So there was this dude. He was from Cameroon, so that's like a country in Africa.
Okay.
And he, I guess, was having a hard time being as though his accent was heavy. He spoke English and understood English perfectly fine, but I guess being from another country, I don't know this for sure, but I imagine that there's more pressure because you don't really know a lot of people here.
Of course,
and it's an entirely different culture, entirely different set of rules that you got to fucking learn and go and abide by. So he was just like not taking shit from nobody. And he was probably like overcorrecting a little bit. Like he just,
doing too much.
Yeah, talking crazy that like even if he was provoked slightly, he was like, "No, fuck that, fuck you, fuck your mother," like just going ham. So I was on my way home. This is like the first week of school. Mind you, I go to West Catholic. So you're thinking like this is supposed to be a private school. It's supposed to be prestigious.
It's supposed to be better than
Blue Ribbon School of Excellence. My ass. So I'm like walking up the steps to the L.
That's one thing that I know for sure. It don't matter.
No,
like for that, whether it's public school or private, kids are kids, and they're gonna be bullshitting no matter what.
You're fucking right. Man, so I'm walking up the steps to the train. So I look down over by what's now the Aldi's on 46 in Market.
Yeah, I know which one it is.
So I see like 30 motherfuckers surrounding one dude. I'm like, bro, what the fuck is happening? And they all swinging on this nigga. And the one dude, and this was like some shit from the Avengers, bro. My man was like, his back was up against this fucking gate. And basically the Hulk was in the front of the 30 other motherfuckers. And he punched this man so hard, he flew back into the gate and dented that shit. I was like, oh yeah, I'm at the wrong fucking school, bro. I'm supposed to be here. My mom paying money for tuition. It's supposed to be some academic shit. And these motherfuckers down here having Fight Club the first week of school. So that shit was bad. I mean, he ain't transferred. Shout out to him. Because I'm surprised. After getting my ass whooped like that, either I'm coming back to killing everybody or fucking, I'm out this bitch.
Bro, I remember my first time seeing somebody get jumped. I was like 6th or 7th grade. And we was playing. Have you ever played Suicide?
What kind of suicide?
So it was, the one we played was, so we had like a wall ball.
Okay.
Right? And our score was high, so you would chuck it as high as you can. It'll bounce off the wall, come back, and you had to catch it.
Yeah.
If you went to catch it and you didn't catch it, like it fumbled or whatever, you had to run to the wall and tag it.
Yeah.
But on your way there, people were allowed to hit you as hard as they could on the way, right? So you had to be quick about it and dodge people, right? Yeah. So we was playing, and there was this one kid who should not have been playing because nobody fucked with him. He was just like that, like talking shit all the time, thought he was better than people, right? Nobody fucked with him. And so they threw the ball up. He went to catch it, fucked it up. Somebody, first hit was to the jaw. He fell down.
Wow.
They just started fucking stomping him. Right? I'm like, I was just playing around for fucking shits and giggles. I'm not stomping this kid.
That shit personally.
Very, bro. And it wasn't like he was the first one that went for it. We've been playing for like 3-5 minutes now. Nobody got hit that hard. Right? They were just waiting for him to fucking try it. And then, they stomped him out. And then they just fucking dipped because it was like after school. So they just ran home. One of the like teachers was still called the ambulance. Bro was like bleeding on the floor. They had to take him up. The blood was still on the ground when they picked him up. I was like, damn, I don't know why he was playing this.
7th grade?
7th grade.
Yeah, no, I guess kids were pretty fucking savage in 7th grade.
Bro, I feel like shit like that back in the day was regular.
Yeah.
Like we were out. We were always on the street.
Yeah.
Like now kids are like at home, they got the streaming services, they got games. There's no reason to be out on the street. If you want to talk to your friends, you can do it at home.
Yeah.
Us, we had to talk to our friends. We was out on the street. And we would go out all fucking day. And then we would just run into some other dudes. And right there, you already beefing. You don't even fucking know them. You already beefing just because they outside or you outside.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was.
Yeah. That's real shit. It's actually sad when you think about it. It's like we were brought up in this like super hostile environment and they just expected that shit to mean nothing to you.
Yeah. Because our parents did it, so they just passed it down.
Oh, like, yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I
survived. You'll survive.
Yeah, go get punched in the face.
Yeah, it'll build character, make you tougher.
Which I guess in some sense it does if you survive it.
Yeah, like, if you get stomped out.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. One of my homies had got jumped so bad one time. He had to go to the hospital. The doctor said they hit him so hard that it like rattled his fucking brain.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, he's fine. I think he's fine. I don't know. It's debatable, but he's alive, and he fought a lot. Like he fought. I think this motherfucker had to fight at least 3 or 4 times a week, like it was a job. And
why he fighting that much? Just like he was instigating it, or it was just like
bro, it didn't matter. He instigated. People would start with him. Like
gotcha.
We used to think of him and one of his homies like Goku and Vegeta.
Because they was fighting that much.
They was fighting everybody and they would fight each other. Like, how the fuck are y'all this close and still fighting each other? Like, that shit is, one time I saw these motherfuckers, bro, they was fighting. Yeah, they were definitely full of anger for sure. I saw these motherfuckers fighting one time on the porch. They fighting. Ran into the fucking railing, like on the porch, knocked that shit over, fell on the ground into the trash cans, got up and kept fighting. I'm like, yeah, this some like Dragon Ball Z shit for real, bro. Y'all
when the environment is involved.
Yo, if I hit the ground, I'm not fighting no more, bro. We good. Yeah.
Did you have a fight club situation in your school?
Kind of, sort of, but it wasn't like we were trying to draw blood.
No. I think that happens in almost any school. Like you just meet up in the bathroom and then you just like people just fighting. But I remember very specifically there was this one day that they tossed in, like we was like all there. They threw in 2 dudes that we knew never fought, but they threw them in the circle and was like hyping them up. And one of them was like, fuck it, whatever, right? The other dude's stance was crazy. Like he was a very unusual guy. So it was like he crouched down a little bit. He had his hand out, his left hand out. And then he had his right hand cocked back, like swirling it, like he
played too much fucking Street Fighter.
I was like, "What the fuck is he
Somebody
doing?"
Can kill his ass.
I'm like, "Why you not?" But it scared the shit out of the other kid because he was not trying to move it.
He gonna wrist work the shit out of me.
My man was just working that wrist.
Nah, yo, I think about it now because you're saying that, like, how many kids were absolutely terrified. Mm-hmm. And they were doing anything they could to avoid a fight, like all kind of wild shit, and telling people they knew karate.
Or then they get mad, like, or they'll start trying to intimidate the other guy, and they'll start like slapping themselves, like, "Oh, look how crazy I am."
Yo,
like, bro, you're just hitting yourself.
Oh my god! One time I seen this dude. I grew up in West Philly, so we were always outside. But like when I was growing up, it was a fucking ton of us, like a ton of fucking kids. So this African family moved in down the street. I'm actually, to this day, his mom and him still lives there. I have no idea where they're from. But I know he told me, we called him African Larry because I was Larry.
Okay.
And he moved in after me, so he was African Larry. So he was just like, I guess, trying to prove himself and like was, again, talking shit to people. So James fucking, for whatever reason, took this challenge personally. And I'll never forget, they fought right in front of my house. And African Larry took his shirt off, was slapping his chest, doing all this old wild shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he either about to fuck James up or his ass just about to get his ass whooped. Like, bro, all this hype shit.
I don't think I've ever seen somebody that did that and knew how to fight.
Yeah, because long story short, James did like a sign of the cross with his fucking hand and split this motherfucker lip.
Yep. I mean,
shit was the end of the fight.
It was one hit.
Yo, and I was just like, damn, that was real anticlimactic. Like, I was expecting some shit.
I remember one of the funniest things that I was a part of was, so my school was beefing with another school. Always. And it was like a whole thing, right? So they came, apparently they jumped one of the kids from our school, and he came back, told us, and for whatever reason, we took that shit personally. And we was like, they not about to come over here and start fucking jumping us, right?
Yeah.
So they ended up getting a bunch of people, right? Like, oh, we about to fight. We got a bunch of people from our school. It was like 15 or 20 of us. And there was a kid that didn't even fucking go to our school, who was friends with a kid that showed up and had an eye patch.
An eye patch?
He had an eye patch.
A fucking pirate?
Right? And I remember I was like, who the fuck is this guy? And then they was like, oh, he's cool with so-and-so, but don't bring up the eye patch. I was like, well, why?
Killer.
Yeah, bro. And he was like built too. And I was like, what he going? He was like, yeah, he don't like it if you bring up the eye patch. Apparently it was like a whole thing. I was like, I'm not gonna bring it up. I was like, I'm not the one that's gonna do it. I might go over there and start saying, yo, he said something about your eye patch.
Oh my God.
I'm not the one that's gonna do it.
Instigating.
All right, so, and we was right on 11th and Christian, right, Palumbo.
Yeah.
And it was like it was a whole thing. They told us, oh, meet us at it was an 8th and Market to box. So all of us came together and we walked down to 8th and Market, and then they showed up on 8th and Market. And the car, like we was just in the street, so cars were stopped, right? But nobody hit anybody. It was like everybody was like staying still, talking shit to the other side. This fucking cop comes out of nowhere, like on a bicycle, just like skee, and then pulls out a baton, right? And then starts yelling at people that you go that way, you go that way. Next thing you know, a bunch of other fucking bicycle cops show up and tell it the same baton's coming out, and was like, it was a whole thing. And then we was like, fuck. I'm like, I'm going home.
1970s beat the shit out of y'all.
I'm like, I'm not doing it. I didn't know this was about to happen.
Rodney
I wanted
King.
to see Eye Patch Guy do something. I'm not here for all this.
What's the pirate name from One Piece? I know you watched.
I've never seen One Piece.
never watched One
and I
Piece?
won't.
I'm
Because
surprised.
you're not going to sit here and be like, oh, watch One Piece. It gets really good after the 500th episode.
Yeah,
I'm
bro,
not doing
I never watched that shit. I never got into it. When was the first time you saw somebody use drugs, or saw drugs in general?
So, honestly, I was like very sheltered in that way that I didn't see it a lot.
Okay.
But definitely high school. And it was from my older brother, which I don't even communicate with anymore. But I remember it was a weird living situation that we were. So my mom, the house that they're at now, we've lived there for years. I think probably moving on like 15, 20 years that they've had that house. But there was a weird like bank mortgage bankruptcy situation that we ended up having to leave. We ended up getting, like that government housing where it's like all the houses look the same.
Yeah.
It's like a 3-story house. It's in a whole complex, right? So we were in there, and we were there for a while. But then something happened where my mom was working with the bank or like lawyers or some shit to get the other house back. And the lawyer told them that they need to be in the house for like the bank to not say something or to take it back. It was, I don't know. You're the realtor. You might know something that I know. So I remember the situation. My mom had to stay at that house, but we were still had this house over here. So she was over there. My dad would be over there. And then she left me, my little brother, and my older brother. And my older brother at that time was already like on some wild shit. Right. So how old were we? I must have been like 16, maybe 15. And this was the first time that I really like felt, bro, what's going on in my house?
Yeah.
Right. Because he showed up, and then he had weed already rolled up, and then they had the baggies, and then he invited people over. And I was just playing Modern Warfare 2. And then all these people just start showing up. And my brother was obsessed with that lifestyle too. Like he idolized my older brother, so he was about it. Okay. And I'm like, there's something wrong here.
Getting high or like just being in the mix?
Just being in the mix at that time.
Okay.
But then, they started smoking. Some people that I had no idea, also brought like pills over. They were popping pills. I remember some girls came over, and my older brother was like, yo, you like this one, this one? I'm like, leave me the fuck alone. Like, it was just, I was so uncomfortable with the whole shit.
Yeah.
So that was my first time like seeing it, like people doing it and it being offered to me. And I'm like, nah, I'm good.
You think that's kind of the reason why you don't really like fucking with weed and all of the other shit? Think that had an effect on you at all?
Not really. I think the biggest effect of me for not really doing weed is solely Alina's.
Okay.
Right? Because I want to do it. I would like to try it. I would like to experience it. I would like to see who I am, how it is. The only thing that kind of did for me was kind of like really open my eyes as far as like who to trust, who not to trust.
Yeah.
Like people can be one thing in front of others and then a completely different person. Yeah. Because that's like at that time, like I didn't see this version of my brother. And then the second we were alone at the house,
He was turning up.
Shit was popping off in ways that I didn't like understand or was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was like, nah. And that's when I started like really like hanging out with my cousin because I was like, I had to get out of that house. That shit was always something. Bro, like honestly, he was like 16, 17. He probably mid 17. He was a couple years older than me. And he would literally have like grown women at the crib, like in their 20s. Like to chill with him and this and that. And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck is going on here. I just didn't want any fucking parts.
How old was he?
How old was he?
Yeah.
17.
Oh, sorry. Okay. So I thought you said you were 17.
No,
okay.
I was like 15.
Okay.
Yeah, he was 17.
Okay.
And there was like grown ass women in the house.
That's kind of crazy when you think about it. But you know
And this
what?
story, my mom doesn't know any of this. This is like not a lot of, I think the only people that really know this happened is me and my two brothers.
Okay.
And my wife, because I've told her this, like obviously. But yeah, I've definitely like experienced, and I was like, this is fucking weird.
Yeah.
So that was my first time.
And that's why I'm trying to be like, not perfect, but like as like good a role model as I possibly can for my little brother, because they don't like, you don't forget that type of shit. Like this is somebody like you might look up to, or you might look to for guidance or like how to maneuver certain shit. And you see something like that and you're like, I can't really trust this motherfucker, or I'm not following behind him for anything.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm a firm believer in there are good role models, and there's bad role models.
Yeah,
like 100%.
Show you what not to do.
What not to do. And if I haven't had good role models in my life, I 100% have had bad ones. And that's all I took away is like, oh, they did this. Yeah. I don't want to be that person. Let me not do that.
Yeah.
And that's how I just kept pushing. That's how I did me. And I don't need people popping pills in front of me or offering me shit that I don't even know who the fuck you are.
Right.
Like that's not a good situation to be in. That environment already is toxic.
I know. And it's crazy that people think, even like at 18, like, oh, go off on your own, do your own thing. Like, bro, like probably up until I was like 22, I felt like I didn't know enough about the fucking world. Even though I had seen so much and been involved with so much shit, you are still a young person up until like that point, in my opinion. At 18, yeah, you can smoke and, sign up for the army or all whatever the fuck. But even then, like, who's to say that that's what you're supposed to be doing?
Yeah. What was your first time?
What's sad is I think I've seen that shit so much that it's all like kind of blurred in together. Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks.
Probably one of the dudes that lived across the street from me. Like I had a couple older dudes who was kind of like old heads. It was like around my mom age, so they kind of like looked out for me and my homies that grew up next door to me. But they used to like be on the corner all the time, drinking, smoking weed, rolling up. My older cousin, like, was the person who kind of showed me what like. Not like the weed and the, like, like the recreational shit, but like the hard shit. Like he was getting blasted, like falling asleep every fucking where. And I'm just like, and we would like see needles sometimes like around the house or outside the house and shit.
Seeing that shit in the house gotta be horrible, bro.
I don't think I've ever seen it in the house. I know my cousin has, but like, it's like at that point you can put two and two together.
100%.
And you're like, yo, you're coming around the family like this? Like, what the fuck are you thinking, bro? And I wonder for people in that situation, I was like, are y'all so fucking high that you don't even care what it looks like? Or
I think so. I mean, I think once you're like truly addicted to some shit,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter who's around. I'm just trying to get high. Right. And it becomes a very selfish thing. Like, so.
And they think, either one, they think that they're so clever that they're
hiding it that nobody knows.
No, nobody can tell I'm high. Like, bro, come on, are you stupid?
Yeah, bro. I remember talking about like people on the corner and shit. So I lived North Philly, K&A, my whole life. I remember going to my cousin's or coming from my cousin's crib, who lived like it was like a 10-minute walk, and it was like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. I'm going home. And this dude was like on his bicycle talking about, I got that loud. Buy two, get one half off. I'm like, these motherfuckers got sales?
What the fuck are you, JCPenney's?
Y'all got promotions? like, what the fuck? Bro, and I remember when I was a kid, like when I first started seeing them pop up in the corners, like when we first moved in K&A, I was thinking to myself, I was like, how do you become a drug dealer? Right? I was like, is there like a resume? I gotta.
It's an initiation.
Yeah. I was like, how do they do that? Just like as a kid, I just didn't understand it. I knew what they was doing. I just didn't know how you got into it. But then, you stay in K&A long enough, you'll figure it out.
Have you ever gotten high? Did you ever smoke before?
No.
Never?
Mm-mm.
Wow.
No. All I do is drink.
And that's actually supposed to be worse.
It is. I know it is, which is crazier that like alcohol is legal and the other one is not, when one obviously does way more damage than the other.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the first time I got high. Oh, actually, I went to a Currency concert. That was my fucking boy, Currency. Mm-hmm. And all he do is smoke. Yeah. So he makes music for you to smoke too. So
how old were you?
I was like 20. I want to say like 24.
Okay.
25. I was older. I didn't play none of that shit. I didn't drink or anything until I was out of college because I was focused on basketball. I was like, I'm gonna make the fucking basketball team. I'm gonna fucking go to college. I'm gonna make the basketball team in college. Then I'm going to the NBA. Obviously,
you had a whole plan.
I had a whole plan.
Well, I didn't know I was talking to somebody in the NBA.
I know, right? That definitely didn't happen because Lord knows, George, we'd be sitting in a fucking mansion right now.
I wouldn't even know you.
Nah, you wouldn't know me, bro. I would still do the vitamin shop shit.
Okay.
Just to say I'm like a regular person.
You remember the first time we ever met?
I remember.
You remember?
Actually, no, I don't. The first time we
ever met was definitely Vitamin Shop.
Yeah, obviously.
I had just became key holder, I think, or maybe the assistant manager. I'm not 100% sure. But Jackie was like, oh, we got a new hire. She trained you for like a day and a half. Yeah. And then me and you closed. And I remember talking shit to you. I'm like, man, what time we close? 9?
I remember that.
I said we close at 9. We'll be out here 9:05. I'm super quick with it. Don't worry about
way
it.
Later.
Homie, I fucked up the registers. It was like, this doesn't match up. That fucking register don't match up. We was there till like 9:45. And like I had to like money with something happen, and I'm like, bro, I'm sorry, this shit just don't work. This never happens,
bro. I didn't know shit about that job, so you could have told me like, yeah, this typically happens, and I would have believed you. I didn't know shit,
bro. I was like, like thinking about it now.
Yeah,
that's funny as shit,
man. I hope this shit don't get me sued, but I was milking that fucking clock. That fucking bro on the fucking computer when you're supposed to do like
100%.
They had this you were called a health enthusiast, so this fucking bullshit ass term to make you take pride in it, nut ass job.
Yeah.
But I was like, so I'd be sitting on the computer clicking, and I'm like, oh Jackie, I'm like doing my training, so I'll help the customers or I'll clean up or whatever you want me to do after I do. I would sit on that shit for like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And just fucking read slow as shit.
That's why they got rid of the fucking computer.
They did?
Yeah, they was like, we know what's going on over there. They motherfuckers not doing
I was
nothing.
getting paid for that shit. You fucking right. I'm sitting on this bitch all day.
I remember when you started doing, because you got there. That was your second job.
Yeah.
And I remember that you told me you was like trying to do the real estate thing, and you had to do the test. And I remember you failed a couple times. Yep. She laughing a little too hard over there.
Hard as shit.
But I remember like, you was like, studying and shit. And you fell asleep in the car, like on your break.
Yeah.
And I was the assistant manager. So like I had the accessibility to clock people in and out. So like your 30 minutes was up and I just clocked you in.
My boy.
And then I let you sleep in the car for like another hour.
Yo, I was tired as shit.
And then I remember a customer was like, is he okay? I was like, yeah, he just fell asleep. I'll go get him. But by that time, you was already asleep for like an hour and a half.
Oh my God. Bro, there was times where we would be working in there and I would like fucking sit on the floor behind the register.
Yeah. I remember one time you got sick as shit.
Yeah.
Like so sick. And you was still there. And I'm like, dude, go home. And you was like, nah, like I need to get the hours. I was like, go home. Like I'll clock you out later. This definitely might get us in trouble. But and then you dipped. And you left, and then whenever I left, I just went in there and adjusted your time for when I left. So it looks like we left at the same time. I remember Jackie was like, oh, why did you have to adjust? Because there was always like a little asterisk next to an adjusted time card. I was like, he ended up not clocking out. I just did it for him because he forgot to do it, and it was like, no problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at you. You're a good friend in hindsight.
Yeah. See, I'm an asshole, but you know, if you stick around past the asshole mark,
Yeah,
I'm a cool
I'm
guy.
the same way. You gotta earn your way into the circle. I'm the same way.
What was the first time you had your first drink?
My first drink. I think I was probably like 22.
Your first drink
My
ever.
first drink.
First alcoholic drink.
Like intentionally. My mom one time had given me some like, I don't know if it was like a fucking margarita or something, but she was like talking to her friend.
What was like, you said intentionally.
Yeah, because she was like talking to her friend. And I was like, oh, what's that? Like being a kid.
Yeah.
It was in a fucking cup. I'm thinking like it's a milkshake or something. She gave it to me. I was like, this is nasty. Like, I don't
You
want
said
that.
22?
No, I was a kid when that happened. But intentionally, yeah, I was with my boy.
Yeah, okay. Because I think same thing happened to me. I was like 8 or 9. And my dad, like when I was younger, was definitely an alcoholic. And I remember we were chilling watching a movie and he was drinking Budweiser. He was like, you want a sip?
He just offered it to you.
I took a sip and I was like, that's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, Budweiser for your first drink.
Yeah. I was like, that's fucking horrible.
Budweiser tastes like piss to me
It's
up until
so
maybe
bad.
like 3 years ago. So
I haven't even tried it again. I don't
scarred
think
you.
I actually don't think I've ever tried Budweiser afterwards. Like that was my first and last time with Budweiser.
Yeah, it's not great. Especially if it's warm. Jesus.
Yeah. I think it was because he just had it in his hand for a minute. But you were 22 when you actually had your first drink.
Yeah, my boy Jesse, he was like much older than me. I'm saying much older. He was like 2 years older than me.
No, that's old.
Yeah, he old as fuck. But nah, yeah, like he had like a little situation. He's the one who actually taught me like about different drinks and like so we had like a whole crash course where I was just getting fucking blackout drunk every time I was with him. And it was like, I was always throwing up. I'll never forget, I threw up on a fucking train in New York. So I was like a real fucking New Yorker. Y'all know how that go. You come from Manhattan, super blasted, fucking train, you feeling a little woozy. Threw up right on the fucking train. Let the rats eat it. Blue chunks too, because you know you had to get the fucking chopped cheese from the bodega.
I don't know if I've ever ridden the train drunk.
Good.
I don't think that I have. I can't imagine that being because like a roller coaster.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're just starting to get drunk. My fucking stomach. First of all, I already have a hard time getting drunk and not throwing up. But back then, man, I was basically like a fucking overfilled water balloon.
Yeah, I think the first time that I had like my first drink was 16. I had gone to my cousin's place who was throwing like a house party. And I remember somebody was like, yo, you want an Incredible Hulk? And I was like,
Incredible Hulk.
That's what it was.
Wow,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I was like, I fucking love the Avengers. I was like, yeah, let me get an Incredible Hulk. And it came and it was like in a clear cup and it was like greenish brown. Right. And I was like, okay.
You should have knew you was about to get fucked.
So I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like I sipped it. It was horrible. And then I took another sip and I just babysat the fuck out of that drink for a minute. And then I was like, I'm not finishing this.
Yeah, you ain't want nobody to think you was a bitch. That's why you're trying to
So
finish.
I just like snuck away and like dumped it and threw it away. I'm like, I'm not fucking, this is disgusting.
Did you ever have Four Locos?
Not when it was crazy, caffeinated, maybe meth for locos. I definitely missed that window, unfortunately.
Yo, good for you, bro. I remember people was like, oh, bro, I'm never drinking again. And they were like 15.
Yeah, it was always the 15, 16-year-olds that were just chugging Four Locos. But like now, I would love to try like that OG. I've had Four Loco. It was regular
That shit
Four
might be
Loko.
banned in the U.S. Whatever the original recipe was.
Bro, I wish I could have tried it. Like thinking about it, because people are saying that like it was like a rush of a lifetime.
Bro, everybody I know who fucking drank Four Locos is not doing okay right now. So you're doing yourself a favor.
I did have one Four Loko in my life though. Okay. I remember I went to like this like beer place up the block from my mom's crib, and I got a couple things, and I was like, fuck it, give me the Four Loko, and like I was drinking it, and as you're drinking it, I'm like, it's not too bad, but horrible fucking aftertaste. So then I was like it was so bad. Let me just finish it. And then I chugged it, which is a no-no. I was fucking throwing up all over the place. And I know it was because of the fucking Four Loko.
Bro, my first time going to like an actual bar, we went with Jesse's friend JP. Typical white dude, like slick blonde hair. He's good looking, leather jacket like the Fonz or something like, so he's already fucked up before we even get to the bar. He's drunk, he's high off maybe like coke or something. I don't know what the fuck he was on. JP was a wild ass dude. We get to the bar and I ordered a drink. I think this is why I love Jack and Coke. Actually, it was my first like go-to cocktail. It was like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bar. I don't really know shit. Let me get a Jack and Coke.
That was my first one.
Yeah.
As well.
So you think you're kind of fancy, but you're getting something.
You order it mad confident too.
Basically a McChicken.
It's the chicken tenders of drinks.
Exactly. But it was perfect. It did its job. So I get the Jack and Coke. Bartender gives it to me. There's like a single little black straw in it. I get ready to go. I'm about to drink it. Fucking JP sticks his fucking hand in my drink, takes a straw and throws it across the bar. Like, what are you, a little bitch?
I remember that.
I was like,
I remember that phase of like, if you drank your drink through a straw, you a bitch.
I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, all
I remember like falling into that shit. I was like, anytime I had a drink with a straw in it, I'm like, I'm not no bitch. Fucking get that straw the fuck up out of here.
I still do it.
Not me. I suck it down through that straw.
Wow. How did I not see that coming, actually? I should have known that you was
I can suck an ice cube through it.
Wow. Okay, Jaws.
You know me.
Superhead. Holy shit.
No, but I remember that.
Yeah.
Like when that tip popped out, like, oh.
Bro, now
that shit's still in your head.
I still won't drink out of straw. I might chew on it. Wow, that's crazy. But that's crazy.
See, the shit I say, I've been saying this as a joke. Larry be intentionally chewing on straws.
Okay, but I'm not sucking ice cubes through the straw.
No, you never tried it.
Yeah, okay. Your mouth is a hose.
Anyway.
But yeah, shout out to JP wherever he at. Cause
You haven't chilled with him since? Or like for a minute?
Bro, this man's life was crazy. First of all, his parents were like ultra wealthy. So basically when JP turned 30 or something, he was supposed to inherit like $4 million or something. And I don't think he's chilling with anybody at this point because that was like 10 years ago.
Damn. And you didn't like stay close? If a dude that I'm chilling with is about to inherit $4 million, I'm his best friend. Better believe that. I'll tie your shoelaces.
I'm looking at you different now. Nah, wherever he's at, I'm sure he's doing fine.
So, I mean, I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think it was a good way to get people to know us a little more, get some background on us.
I agree.
A lot of first experienced in our history, and many more to go.
I'm sure a lot of people could relate to the porn stuff, if nothing else.
Oh, for sure. Why the cat accidentally stumbling upon porn on that fucking cable box, I think has to be the reality for so many people.
It's a shared male experience.
Just like flipping through it and then whoa,
Yeah.
titty.
Yeah.
You got to go back. You got to go back to the titty.
Yeah. Shout out to them showers. Help me down.
Larry was hella clean for
Shit. Never been so clean. I might have wore 6 pairs of drawers that day. Shit.
Yikes. And, all right, you want to close it out?
Yeah, man. We appreciate y'all for coming back to the Mancave podcast. This is episode 21. Holy shit.
Yep.
We are on our way. We're about to hit a quarter. And we're almost at 200 subs on YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed already, make sure that you do. I don't know how Spotify classifies our following, if it's subscribers or people following the channel, but whatever it is, make sure that you do. And make sure that you donate to feed a child in some foreign country.
You don't really have to do that part.
Is that not how I sound? I was like, I'm begging for followers and all that shit. Yeah, we need it. We need you today to go to YouTube.
One click of a subscribe button can save a kid in Africa.
Definitely not, but might save your kid in Abu Dhabi.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And the kid in Africa.
Actually, I think the kids here need more food now than ever. Eggs is $75.
Yeah.
So
I gotta put my fucking eggs on a payment plan. Fucking
Afterpay eggs.
this country, get it together.
Seriously, but no, we appreciate everybody for listening, for watching, whatever it is that you do. Make sure that you stumble upon some porn, change your life.
And let us know your experience. Like, let us comment down below or whatever. Just let us know your first time watching porn, your first time getting drunk, or your first fight. See if it was any different from ours. You know,
spark up some nostalgia.
Yeah, 100%. We'll catch you guys in the next episode. This is Larry.
You're George.
This is Larry.
You didn't point at me though.
All right,
so
man. You're supposed to say this is
I'm
George.
Larry.
This guy just can't fucking figure it out, man.